Hi everyone, so sorry I can't be there today. Just wanted to show you the basics of using Noodle tools just in case you're a little confused about what to do. So first things first, you want to log in, obviously, go to the projects area. I think that opens up automatically. Click create a new project, call it education essay, synthesis essay, whatever you want. And you always want to select MLA Advanced as your citation level. You can see that MLA Advanced. Okay, so you create your works cited list. So everything starts from the works cited list. Okay, once you're here, you can see up here it puts you in dashboard. That's not where you want to be. You want to click sources, and that's where you'll be able to create new citations. So that part is pretty self-evident. You click create new citation, and then from here we have to decide what it is we're citing. The large majority of what you're citing will be websites, at least to start with. I'm aware that you have hard copy material in your hands that I've given you, but almost every single one of those things came from a website unless I indicated otherwise, and I'll show you where in a moment. So you want to go to website, and then depending on what it is you're citing, so whether you're citing from a blog, whether you're citing a basic web page, some of the articles that I sourced for you came from teacher web pages, so those citations would start there. Some came from an online newspaper, so whatever the case, it'll probably be in this left column after you pick web page. So you select whatever it is that you're citing, and then that brings you to something that looks like this. And obviously you start populating this with the information. Anything that does not have a red star you'll not be forced obviously to include that part. So you have to put the name of the blog, for instance, and the fact that it's a web blog. But if you can't find some of the other information, like the date of the exact post or other stuff, that's okay. You'll still be able to hit submit and generate the citation. So that's how you create a citation. Eventually, you'll have what looks like, obviously, a works cited list. So when you're in, I'll go to another one that I have as a sample just to show you what I'm talking about. So this is what I used in my other classes today, not AP. So we cited a bunch of different sources, so I have like a fake works cited here. What I also want to show you is, let me make it a little smaller. When you're looking at this, these are your various citations. To the right of each one is the options button. Here, you have the option to click on in-text reference. It tells you exactly what should be in the parentheses at the end of your sentence. That's a little bit of an odd one because it's a biblical citation. So I'll go to one that's just from a lecture, which is more basic. So in this case, when you're citing a lecture, you just have the speaker's last name in there. Now, below the model of what exactly yours should look like here, there's actually great explanations as for generally where is the placement between the quotation mark and the parentheses. If you mention the author's name in the sentence, do you have to put it in the parenthetical? What if you have similar authors or repeat authors, no author, et cetera, et cetera. So there's really, really good information and tutorials here. But every time you click in-text reference, it gives you super specific, in parentheses, exactly what should go there. Now this one, when you see something that's bracketed, you just enter what it is they're looking for, and then it changes it to look exactly how it should look. So you could almost, if the font were the same, just copy and paste the exact parenthetical for that source, stick it right into your paper. So that should be pretty easy. So you have a works cited list that you've generated. You then have how to get the in-text references. Last but not least, there's two ways to get this into your paper as the last standalone page of your paper. You can print or export your works cited list to a Word doc. It'll download with a funky name. You open it. It's just taking a moment to open. And it'll be perfectly formatted, as you can see here. I know it's perfectly formatted because works cited has no colon next to it. It's not bolded or italicized or underlined, and it's centered. Furthermore, everything is double spaced in the list. The first line is always flush left or left aligned. Every subsequent line of the citation is indented, so it's tabbed in one. And you can see that remains the same for all subsequent ones. So you would either copy and paste this into your Google Docs page, paper, or whatever your paper's in, but the formatting can get messed up. So if you're working in Google Docs on your paper, A better option might be to print export again, but go to formatting options, go to export to Google Docs. It'll ask you to access your docs, blah, blah, blah. So I'm walking you through that stage. You could see 8 million other emails of all people who use my computer in my house. And then again, it gives you your perfectly cited, works cited page. And copying and pasting right from a Google Doc to another Google Doc should be easy peasy. So that's the basics of how to do the three main things in Noodle Tools that we did today. So to recap, you want to make a new project, as I did, that'll appear in your projects list. Then eventually you go into that specific project, you want to add all your sources. Okay, so here's your source list. I didn't make any. Ha. So we go to the Create New Citation button, and remember, know what you're citing, etc. I'll speak a little more about that in a second. And then when you're in that final step and you're ready to do the works cited page for the end of your essay, then you use that feature of the print export. And you probably want to go to formatting options, but you could also print export to Word. Those are the two that I'd really recommend. I'm skipping over this because if your paper is not linked to Noodle Tools in the first place, there's extra steps. So again, I would stick with this or with this. Okay, finally, let me refer you to the Canvas calendar where under Citation Party, I basically provided information for any of the articles that you wouldn't be able to Google around and find the info for yourself. So I added stuff for the American Scholar text. I added for Emerson's education essay, that's a book citation from an anthology. His Self-Reliance, which very few people use, but in case you did, I included anything that they might use in the citation. And the David Foster Waller graduation speech. This is the actual PDF file. This is the website where you would find all the other citation info. And again, that would be cited as a web page. So when you need to do that stuff, you just look here under Citation Party, posted on today's date. I'll actually move it over right now so that tomorrow it's ready and waiting there for you. Okay, if you have any questions, email me them over to me and I will try and get to them while I'm sitting on jury duty. And if not, you can always see me Thursday during lunch, or I might be able to speak to people briefly during class. Thanks so much and have a great night.